Hello everyone, welcome to Duckett on Tour. I'm Gary Klein here, and this is the third day of official practice at the B.A.S.S Elite event in Jackson, Mississippi on Great Lake Ross Barnett. It's going to be a real interesting event. This lake fish is real small, especially with the conditions that we've had and the mode that these fish are in right now. The lake is going to be real tiny. And real tough fishing, but it's got a lot of quality fish in it, so it's going to be real interesting to watch how everything unfolds. You know, today's the third day of practice, so I've been on the water 2 days. First day I fished a different area of the lake, then I fished the second day of practice. What I'm trying to do is expand with the knowledge that I have after 2 days of practice. There's two techniques that I have going. One is flipping, and the other is fishing a swim bait in the lily pads. I think there's still some fish that are trying to spawn, but all the fish that I've caught have all been real shallow. I mean, less than 2 feet of water. They're pretty aggressive and they're nice chunky fish, but you know, you fish for a long time before you get a bite. I'm fishing an area that I have not been to yet. Obviously, I'm not going to go back where I plan on fishing the tournament, and chances are if I get a good bite today, I'm not even going to set the hook. But this is just something that I looked at on the map. It kind of sets up the way this one area that I'm going to fish tomorrow does, and I'm just going to see if I can't, you know, get a few more bites, because this is the area I'm going to end up fishing in the tournament. So I'm just up around the corner, you know, a couple miles. So anyhow, another day of practice. Just put the trolling motor down and go fishing and see what you can come up with. You know, there's two things that we do in practice is you eliminate and establish. And when you find an area, there's no reason to keep beating it up. You know, you don't want to keep fishing it, you want to save it for the tournament, but also it's important to get dialed in with the personality of the fish. And I've seen it happen so many times. When you make a bait change, all of a sudden it just triggers something. It's like every fish wants it. And that's what I like to try to get dialed in on is the deal. And you know, here I'm fishing this shallow water. It's got a lot of these big shad around. And I'm just thinking this big bladed spinnerbait might really trigger the fish. I haven't thrown it. I thought about it yesterday and just never made one up. In fact, that's the only big blade that I have with me. The rest of them are back in the truck, but I've caught a lot of fish by making a change like this, and a lot of times bigger is better. You know, the fish get so used to seeing the same old. Sometimes larger is much better. But the reason I'm thinking about that is all those big shad I've been seeing. I mean, those shad are bigger than that blade. So And with this water being a little off colored, maybe they're not really seeing my swim bait that good. So I thought about it yesterday, and see, it moves a lot of water, obviously. We'll see. Third day of practice is 12 o'clock noon. Two things I did today that I feel like today was a productive day for me. One is I think I kind of expanded an area, but two is I think I've gained more confidence in a certain technique that I was using yesterday. So those two things are really good. This lake's gonna fish real small, and normally what happens when it fishes small, guys can go through areas using the wrong bait or the wrong technique and never get a bite. And that's good. But these fish are so shallow that if I get a lot of boats trying to do other things in the area that I'm in, then my bite will go away too. So there's gonna be a little bit of strategy involved in this. Obviously, I'm gonna go do what I know how to do. I'm gonna shut down right in the meat and see if I just can't get 5 bites tomorrow. And if they're good quality fish, and I'll have a decent stringer, and worry about the second day of the tournament, you know, whenever it gets there. I'm not too worried about that, but I've seen enough to know that I made a commitment to this area. I'm gonna fish here during the event, and I just gotta play it day by day. I have no other place to go, but I still feel that I need to expand, and you do that by finding new areas or a different technique in those same areas that have the fish. So that's what's going through my head right now, but hey, it's practice. You know, tomorrow when it's for real, pretty much going to keep, you know, 1 rod in my hand, maybe 2, and just fish the day and let it develop. It'll be interesting. I've seen what I've wanted to see. I've evaluated an area, and I think I've looked at about everything in there. You know, today's not a day of catching them. Today's just a day to kind of confirm and get, you know, focused a little bit. I think I could have had a really good day today too, I think. So I'm kind of excited about fishing this tournament, even though it's going to be a real tough event. We got weather coming in and winds like crazy and thunderstorms, so I think the fishing ought to be pretty good. But dude, I would be happy to have 5 fish. My target weight tomorrow is 15 pounds. If I can catch 15, I'll feel like I'm in the hunt.
Time Classic qualifier, the one and only Mr. Gary Klein. Gary Klein, 30-time Classic qualifier. Bring us 5 fish here today, Gary. Five fish for Gary Klein, 11 pounds and an ounce. Going to put you in 30th place right now.
Here we are at the end of the first day of competition here at the Elite Series on Ross Barnett, Jackson, Mississippi. Hey, it wasn't the day that I was looking for, but I'll take it. I mean, I had 5 fish that weighed 11.1, had 3 missed opportunities, and I'm in an area that's got some fish. I just got to figure out how to get those fish to bite. We had some real adverse conditions with the way it's set up today, and I had, anyhow, it ended up being whatever it was. I'm kind of brain dead. It was a long day. Tomorrow I'm looking forward to it. You know, we're supposed to have 15 to 25 mile an hour winds out of the south. That's going to kind of change things, and I think it'll make my bite a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to going back out and grinding it again. here we are the second day of the B.A.S.S. Elite here at Ross Barnett in Jackson, Mississippi. And you know, the day didn't really turn out the way I thought it was going to. I had an opportunity for a big bag, but for some reason, I lost every big fish I got bit by, or they jump and come off. So it was real frustrating for me. I hung in there, and finally at the last minute, I put 4 in the boat. So, hey, it's over with. You know, now I got to go back and study and learn what happened here at this one so I get better at the next one. You know, I was fishing shallow. Ross Barnett is famous for fishing around lily pads, aquatic vegetation, shallow. Every bite that I got was in less than 2 feet of water. And I was catching them real in a swim bait, I was catching them on a frog, I was catching them on a chatterbait. But really my key area is what it was that I had found, had 3 little sweet spots in it. And the wind basically took 2 of those sweet spots out of play today, especially after about 9 o'clock, the wind was blowing so hard. So it isolated me into one little corner. You know, it is what it is. You just take it and go on with it. But what I keyed on is a Terry Scroggins White Ice 2. It's a 7.3 heavy. That's the best chatterbait rod I've ever used in my life. That's the rod. And then my 7.1 casting rod, Gary Klein White Ice. That's what I was reeling my baits with. So those are really the 2 things that I played a real big role for me here. The flip stick obviously was something that I was really planning on, but I could never establish that bite during practice, so didn't get a chance to use it. Well, that's a wrap here at the windy Ross Barnett. Man, I tell you, the wind's blowing like 25, gusts to 30. It's pretty much like that all day. From the Duckett on tour, see you at the next one.